Hey guys, Erica here with Food Courage, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the many ways that Real Plans helps you to customize your dietary restrictions and your menus. So I'm in the My Meal Plans section, so in the settings section, and the first thing you do is just select your diet, of course, and they've got a lot of diets to choose from. I have mine set to Paleo AIP. In addition to choosing a diet type, they also let you add and subtract any food that you want. So any additional foods that you either don't like or have intolerances to, you can add those to your excluded food groups. You can see here that since I've got it set to AIP, it's already got the non-compliant foods in the excluded food group section. So you would just have to add any other foods that you or your family can't eat or just don't like. So if, for example, someone has an allergy to shellfish, you can just add those over to the excluded side. And if if there's something you want to add back later, you can just add them back like this. Same with if you're doing reintroductions for AIP and you want to just add one or two foods back or one food that you're trying, say, eggs, for example, you just add that over to your included food groups, and then Real Plans will start showing you recipes that include eggs again. So the other thing, in addition to those foods, you can search for other ingredients down in this box. So for example, if you just want to search for onions, you click Find Variants, and it will bring up every kind of onions they've got included in their recipes. If you don't want onions at all, you can select all of these and send them to your excluded side, the excluded foods. You can always add these back. Same with what we just did up here. You can select them all and add them back. So once you get that the way you want it, you just click Save. And then we're going to go over to customizing how we do our meals. I've got it set to 4 servings because there's 4 of us. For dinner, you can see here it's asking how many times a week I want to cook dinner. I have it set to 4 because I like to be able to use leftovers. You can uncheck that box if you don't like leftovers, but I like just cooking 4 times a week, and then I can use leftovers for some of the other nights. So it'll ask how many portions do you want for your leftover meals. I have it set to 4 since there's 4 of us. And then I want it to spread over 1 meal. So when I do leftovers for a meal, I just want to use that for 1 other meal. I haven't scheduled anything for lunches because our lunches are kind of sporadic, and it's just easier to figure that part out as I go. With breakfast, I just make breakfast a couple times a week, and I have it set to 2 times a week. So Real Plans will come up with 2 breakfasts a week. So beyond that, you've got this customized scheduling section. This shows basically the selections we just made. You can see I've got 2 breakfasts here. You can see here it's got dinners set for every night, but I'm only cooking on 4 of those nights. So on Sunday night, you can see I'm making 8 portions. And then on Monday night, it's got me having leftovers, 4 portions from Sunday's dinner. Same with, on Wednesday, I'm making 8 portions, and then I'm having those leftovers on Thursday. And you can change what nights you have the leftovers. If you don't want to have 2 nights of the same meal, you can always change that. So say on Monday night, I don't want to have leftovers from Sunday, you can go into this filters section. And instead of saying leftovers from Sunday dinner, I'm just going to say none. I want them to come up with a new recipe for me. If you know what recipe you want, you can start typing it in here. And it'll bring up all these different recipes, and you can pick a recipe, or you can just let it generate one in your meal plan. But so I selected none for the leftovers. You can see right here, none. So I'm going to add that. Now it just has a regular dinner scheduled there. But I still want the leftovers from Sunday, so I can go to Tuesday night, for example. I'm going to say I would like leftovers from Sunday's dinner. And there's 4 portions. So I'm going to add that. So now you can see I'm making 8 portions on Sunday again. but then I'm having those leftovers on Tuesday night. And this may seem a little confusing at first looking at it from this view, but the good news is you can also make adjustments from your calendar when you're looking at your meal plan. And I think it's a lot easier to make those adjustments. That way you can just click and drag meals, and I'll show you how to do that. But this is another way. And same thing here, you know, if you want more than one breakfast, you can also do the same thing over here. You can add, you can say I want leftovers from Sunday's breakfast, and then it'll have you making, and here, okay, because I selected, I want 4 portions for leftovers. If you want 4 portions, that's fine, but in our house, usually it might just be me eating leftovers from a breakfast, so I would just select 1 portion. I mean, however you want to do it, but that's just something to be aware of. So it'll add, it'll have you make an additional portion here. Same thing here. If you don't want to make 5 portions, you can just change how many portions you're making. Just go in here and change it. So that's, you can do that here, and then I'll show you also, so we'll save that, and we'll save our settings here. I'm gonna update my plan, and then I'm gonna go back to the settings really quick and show you a couple other things. So the advanced settings is another thing, another area where you can just customize how you wanna do things. Your weekly calendar has it starting on Sunday, but you can start it on any day of the week. If you are not in the US and you use metric measurements, you can switch that over to metric measurements. If you prefer not to get seasonal recipes for some reason, you can switch that off. Email preferences are here, and then equipment's really important. I don't have an air fryer or a sous vide, so you know, those kind of cookers, I can't use recipes that require those. So this is a good way for you to customize those things, make sure that you're getting recipes that require equipment that you actually have. So once you've got that the way you want it, click done. And this takes you to your meal planner. So where we were talking about leftovers, you can see these little yellow circles that are over the recipes, and you can see this rosemary roast chicken is a leftover, and that's from our Sunday dinner. So you can always change these things. One way is by clicking these 3 little dots, and you can move the meal to another day. If you wanted to move it to dinner on Thursday, you could just click that and it would move it. The other way you can do it is to literally just click and drag to another day. And then you can also add leftovers from a meal. For example, say I don't want this veggie soup on this Monday night and I want to do leftovers. I want leftovers for 2 meals from this dinner. So I'll just go here and say I want to add a leftover, and you just pick one of your meals from that week. So if I wanted to do the rosemary chicken and the sweet potatoes, I would just add leftovers, and it would update the servings that you're making. So now I'm making 12 servings, so I've got enough for 3 nights worth of those meals. And like I said, you can play with this. There are so many ways to do it, but I like doing it from this view because it's just very visual, and you can move things around, you can see what's happening, and so just a lot of fun things you can do. I will come back with another video and show you some of the other features because there's just a lot to cover in one video, but I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll be back soon.